righty. We are live, guys. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the live on my phone. All right, perfect. So we're live, guys. We've got Rafi in here, Thunder fan, and we've got Landon, Thunder Fan Zone, and myself, Thunder Talk. We're going to do a quick 20-minute post-game recap of the Thunder's 60th win. I mean, this was just impressive all around. I'm glad we kind of had to battle for this one. It still ended up kind of a blowout. Like, we didn't really, probably as Thunder fans, we weren't worried about, taking a loss in this one. 121 to 105. What do you guys think about that?
Good win. Wish it could be a little bit more. We had a good lead in the beginning, and then we lost it for a little bit, but glad we still won.
Yeah, I'm glad absolutely. We got Josh in here tonight too. So
what's up, guys?
What's up, man?
60 wins, man.
Yeah, 60 wins. And just as a reminder, if you guys want to join up on lives like this, send us a quick DM on any of our socials and we'll get you up here. We'll send you a link to our live stream. We got some YouTube comments flowing in here. OKC in 4. I believe that's our first round series. And we also have Suture who mentioned loved what Kenny did tonight, did some good stuff. I was impressed. I completely agree with that.
Really all-around game for him.
I think OKC in 4 against every team, not just our first round, but I think against the Lakers we'll go 4, and if we play the Nuggets in 4 too.
Yeah. Who is your guys' preferred first-round matchup?
I mean, I think the easiest one would be the Kings. Not really. We had a bad game against them, which, I would call it a game that's out of the ordinary, and we still beat them by what should have been 25 until Doug McDermott came in and turned into Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
I want the Lakers. Let's just get rid of them, take care of them.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing them until at least the second round with how the seeding is looking. So shouldn't be any problems there. Good mentioning Doug McDermott. Quick set of threes. I think he got 3 in a row. I'm surprised they didn't even put him in.
Yep.
I'm surprised they didn't put him in. If he's healthy and good to go, he's only sitting in the corner, and I'm sure he could have made more shots than most of their team from like a 3-point perspective. I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's any other comments. Trixie over here mentioned, so happy that Chet's back. I actually wanted to speak about Chet real quick. He kind of picked up a injury to the hip. I believe it was either the left or the right. I can't exactly recall which side. It looked like he kind of got a bruise to the hip. It didn't seem anything too major. He kind of played past it. He'll probably definitely feel it in the morning, maybe sit out the next game or something like that. It's nothing related to the fracture, but it also does give me some pause when it comes to him just being a little bit more slimmer and coming from a major injury. But other than that, he was fantastic tonight. Great set of plays, great double big action. We're really good in terms of the offensive sets that we run between him and Hartenstein. Sorry. Between him and Hartenstein. So maybe on the defensive end, though, is where we kind of were just don't have it figured out because Chet guarding LaRavia wasn't really working for us. Having Hartenstein come out to the wings was a little too slow. We saw Keegan, get a couple threes off on us, and we struggled with the double big defensively, and we've kind of struggled most of the time when they're both on the court.
Yeah. I actually talked to some Kings fans, and I was like, is this a regular thing from Keegan Murray, or is this a once-in-a-blue moon type occurrence? And they're like, you guys just got the short end of the stick tonight.
Yeah.
I feel like he's one of those players that is either on or off. Doesn't he hold the record for most threes in a game?
I believe so, yeah. And even in this game, he was 9 for something, 9 for 12, 9 for 13, something like that. He was shooting the ball really well. I mean, 9 threes in one game is no joke. He can definitely light it up. He's one of those guys like 10 plus threes made in a game pretty easily. He just doesn't attempts off, and his percentages dropped year over year. He's also being tasked to do a lot defensively, which is pretty interesting strategy from their side. Is like guys like him and MPJ are similar in build and player. Like they usually don't guard the best player on the other team, so it's weird that he's being tasked to do that. And I guess that's because of his size and he wants to take on that responsibility. But if I have a guy that's offensively like that and he can put up 10 plus threes in a given game, like there's no way I'm putting defensive assignments for him.
Do you guys think there's any player on the Thunder that should have got more minutes and maybe a player that should have got less minutes?
Yeah, I can look at some of the minutes for us. Hartenstein got 27, Chet got 33, Shea got 33, Dort got 32, Kenrich got 28 minutes, Isaiah Joe got 28 minutes, Alex Caruso got 23, Jay Will got 21, Dylan Jones got 12, and guys got a couple of minutes.
I appreciated Dylan Jones getting some minutes tonight. He looked good out there today.
Yeah, he had a big 3. He looked solid in his minutes. He's looked more comfortable. He's just a good piece that, like, not having Wiggins in this one, he was solid for the minutes that we just needed, a person in to give some of these guys some rest, and he did a pretty good job.
Yeah, his game's definitely still a work in progress. It's not a finished product, but I think the potential is there to be a good bench piece in the future.
And then I wish Brandon Carlson got more minutes. He's been playing really good, so I wish we got him some more minutes tonight.
Yeah,
that's an interesting one.
Yeah, Brandon Carlson. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say this is just a personal bias. I just love Alex Caruso. I mean, what he dropped either 15 or 16 tonight. I mean, when he's playing offensively and popping off on the defensive side of the ball, I think it's hard not to give him minutes.
Yeah, completely agree there. He got 15 minutes, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. This team is crazy, man. I mean, reading off some of these stat lines, Jay Will with 9 points, 9 rebounds. We got Kenrich here with 11, 6, and 4. Dort got 13 and 4. He obviously got 32, 5, and 7. Chet got 18 and 9. And Hartenstein out here with 10 rebounds, 4 points, and 5 assists. I mean, these are some crazy stat lines where each of these guys are just bringing so much work, where it's like if Shea's resting for 10 plus minutes, we're not missing a beat and we're still staying in the game. And in some games, we're even going up on teams.
Yeah, I think it's very telling for when Shea can have an off night, which an off night for him is dropping 32 for 10 for 22, but it just shows how deep this team is to be able to answer back offensively when Keegan Murray is dropping crazy threes and they're just hitting everything. I just think it shows how deep this team is.
Did you guys notice the Kings announcers tonight? They were calling Caruso a cherry picker, and they said J Dub instead of J Will.
Oh yeah, I heard the J Dub.
Yeah, that was the TNT crew.
Yeah, the national announcers can never get our players' names correctly, so I'm just kind of used to it at this point.
Well, it was kind of a cherry pick by Caruso. He was on the ground on the other end of the court and got up, but like that just happened by default. He wasn't intentionally cherry picking.
Yeah, and we're probably going to be the best team playing 4-on-5 if we really wanted to cherry pick.
Yeah.
Also, I got some comments here. Hotspot Casino mentioned, I'm glad we won. He also mentioned Chet's going to need a rest next game. That's kind of what we mentioned early on in this live here, that he's kind of picked up a quick hip injury in this one. He probably will get some rest. And then he followed it up with saying, Caruso's a defensive reminder. He helps us get our minds right on the floor. I love his intensity. I want to comment on this specifically. If you look on every single timeout, maybe not on the TNT broadcast as much, but if you look on like local broadcasts, and you can still see the guys on, the bench when the timeout's called, Caruso's in their ear telling them what to do defensively, even when he's on the court, even more so. But it's even more telling off the court. If you just watch Caruso, man, he's out here coaching these guys, play their hardest on the defensive end, and not just play their hardest, but defensive schemes. Like, he's bringing more defensive intensity and schemes to this team, and that's the championship level, I guess, caliber that he's just bringing to the team.
I kind of want to feed off that. Where do you guys think Caruso is in the rotation during the playoffs, and how many minutes do you think he gets?
Probably around like 6th man, 7th man.
Mm-hmm.
Spot for him.
Yeah.
I think it depends on who we play. If we guard or we go against a smaller team, I think that he is warranted like 20 to 25 minutes a night. But if we're playing it versus a bigger team, it might be spot minutes. It might be like 15 to maybe 20. It depends on how offensively he's doing. But I mean, defensively, he's always going to be another coach, even on the bench, telling them what they can and or like should and shouldn't do. So I think that his presence is going to be felt whether he's on or off the court.
Yeah, I think the way he's been playing offensively, you almost have to give him at least 15 minutes because his defensive impact just speaks volume.
Yeah, I'm cool with him playing between 15 to 20 minutes. The reason I say that is ramp up as the playoffs go. Like, he should start on a 15-minute, get up to like 18, 22. He should be in the finals playing 25, 28 minutes as he's kind of needed and closing out the last, 3-4 minutes of a game. Like, he's just that crucial to the team. We got a comment here. Before I address Trixie's comment, we got a comment in the IG chat by 915 Sean, who mentioned, if we were stranded on an island with one player, who would it be? I'm guessing we're going to stick to just present players on this team. So who would you guys want to be stranded with?
I think I'd go with Jay Will. The only reason I say that is because, for one, he's a lot bigger than me and he can do a lot of the more physical stuff than I can do. But then also, he's just always going to keep our spirits high. He's going to have that, contagious smile that it's just going to make me think that we're going to somehow see a boat, And if we do see a boat, then he can launch a coconut 1,000 miles and get its attention.
Oh yeah, for sure. He can QB his way into getting some attention out there. What do you guys think, Rafi?
I would because he's probably tall enough to see if there is a boat.
I'll take Aaron Wiggins because he's the savior of basketball. So what says he can't save me on a stranded island?
I love it. I'm gonna go with Brandon Carlson, man. Like, good vibes. That's what I'm going with. Great vibes, and the way he can light it up on the floor. I mean, he can get a fire going. So we're good with that.
Plus, he went on a mission trip in Africa, and so I'm sure that he knows how to live a little bit.
Oh yeah. See, I knew I was picking the right guy.
Yeah, good pull there.
Great pull. Hotspot Casino mentioned Jay Will. Drop your comments in the IG chat or the YouTube. Who you guys would want on an island stranded with you. And Sean, I appreciate that comment. We like fun comments too, along with analysis. We got Trixie in here mentioning. Actually, I want to go back to her original comment. Shea needs some rest as well. His game with the Clippers wasn't his best. Man, he back-to-back games, he's looked consistent offensive end, and that's a rare sight to see. And we're still getting wins, of course, because of just our depth. Like, even if he didn't play, I think we still win these games. But man, he's looking a little bit more gassed, and I think I mentioned that last game in my recap. He's just looking gassed. I mean, that's what it is. And obviously, we don't want our star player in that position, but he needs to get past this point because the playoffs are going to be even harder. Like, if he's gassed right now in the regular season, and of course he's played tons of games, but he's got to figure it out and kick it into a next year, because in the playoffs, there's not going to be much time for rest. Like, yeah, we may finish some series off early, but still, you're going to have to play 4 back-to-back games. Eventually, you're going to get tired regardless, and you're going to have to hit that next gear. So I'm glad he's still going to be playing. I doubt, like, we just outright rest him. We have rested him a couple games here. So, yeah. What do you guys think?
I say rest after the Laker games, just the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of it does if he's gassed or if it's the way the teams are playing against him now that our number 2 option is out. There's so much gravity going towards him that every time that he drives, he's getting hacked, and it's either not getting called or it's getting called, and he's getting to the free throw line. But teams are just playing a lot more physical with him these past few games, and I wonder if that has a lot of an impact on how he's been playing.
Yeah, that could be it. I don't necessarily mind it though, because it creates the opportunity for other guys to step up, like a Caruso tonight or a Joe. I like seeing those guys because that helps them prepare for the playoffs. It's a playoffs 4 series. If we make the finals, that entails that maybe Shade. There's one game that Shade plays like this, and we need those other guys to step up.
Mm-hmm.
Might be doing it on purpose just so that they like push the pace.
No.
He's still putting up great stats.
He's just missing. He's just missing right now. The main area where he's is towards his drives. Like, he's also not going to his mid range as much as I expected him to. Like, usually when his drives aren't falling or his 3-point shot's not falling, he goes straight to that mid range, and he's not made that adjustment in last game, and I called him out for that. In this game, he didn't do that as well as much as I'd like. Like, if it's not going in towards the basket and they're playing a little bit rougher defense, and he's going to have to expect that in the playoffs, he's got to adjust to that mid-range shot. And also, we've just got to get him easier looks. Like, he's solid at generating the separation off the pick and roll. But, if you ran the same play 3 or 4 times, the team is going to start what you're doing, and so we've got to switch it up in terms of the pick and roll actions. And I think I mentioned this last game as well. We need to stop having him dribble the ball up the court and then ask him to go into the same couple 3 or 4 plays that we have set actions. We need to just have a little difference in our plays where Ludor, Caruso, or someone else brings the ball up. And in this case, J-Dub would be giving him a lot of rest, so he's had to put a lot of pressure on his offensive shoulders. So I understand why he's a little tired.
Yeah.
Trixie mentioned that she'd want Chet on the island for similar reasons. And Hotspot Casino in here in the chat, you're right. Remember at the beginning of the season, we were dominating teams so much that the scoring average was super low. Yeah. We've been dominating teams from the start of the season till the end of the season, it feels like. We still got 10 games left, and we can go undefeated here. I want to knock out some more of these comments. We got 2 or 3 minutes until we end the live, by the way. Chet also doubles as a lifeboat. He's all bone, so I bet he'll float. That's a good last resort comment. That is a wild comment. Texan by nature, we appreciate you joining the chat. Hotspot Casino here. We could really blow out teams, but I know he's pushing to get MVP. I think that when the playoffs comes, we won't exhaust him as much. Yeah, I completely agree. We're going to be probably blowing out teams in the first round anyways, so he'll be getting 4th quarters off in the first round against Clippers, Kings, whoever we end up playing. That's how good the defense is. Completely agree there. Sean in the IG chat got a good question for us to end off things. Is the MVP debate over? I'll let you guys take over.
According to Vegas, it is. If you look at almost all the odds makers, Shay's leading by a landslide right now.
Jokic was never even close.
Yeah, at this point, I've been even considering like betting on Jokic to win MVP just in case, the voters, and I can make a shit ton of money, just because it's so crazily different.
There's no hate in my heart for Jokic, though. I would be understanding if you wanted. He's a great player, but I think Shade deserves it just as much.
There's a comment on my Twitter page where it was like, we shouldn't glaze Jokic, and it's like, no. We should completely glaze Jokic, but we
Yeah.
should glaze Shea just as much. And I think the NBA community has missed the mark on that, where it's like, we've got to pull down Shea as much as possible to get Jokic's MVP, and that's just not okay to do in MVP debates. Like, I think it's pretty lame, in my opinion. Why can't we just glaze both guys? They're MVP caliber guys. Like, if either one of them wins it, I don't think either fan is upset, because at the end of the day, both of the fan bases just want championships. And if MVP comes about through the regular season, fantastic. And that's kind of what the sentiment should be.
No, for sure. I think that in the NBA, I think that there's a big mindset of two things can't be right at the same time. You know, one has to be worse than the other. And I just think that's wrong. I think that people should just enjoy basketball, you know, for the good things instead of hate watching and, you know, just preying on people's downfalls for real, you know.
Yeah, it's the perfect way to put it.
Yeah. I appreciate everyone for joining. We've been live for 20 minutes. We do this after every post-game recap. And also we, of course, bring you guys a morning video right after the games as well. And we appreciate everyone in the chat for the comments, the likes. Make sure you guys subscribe, follow wherever you're viewing us. And we appreciate you guys for, joining back on. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Josh and Rafi, again for joining.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys want to join post-game recaps like this, just send us a quick DM anywhere on our socials and we'll get you on the live.
Oh, yeah.